Hello there guys, and welcome to another one of my real life range tests. You were expecting me to say reviews, right? No. Today we are going to take a closer look at the real life range of the car behind me. And from this angle you might think it's just a regular Volvo XC40, but if you take a closer look at the rear end, you might notice that this is not an XC40, this is a C40. So today we're going to talk about what kind of range you should be expecting, what kind of energy consumption, and then we are going to do a full review of the car that will be published in about a week's time from now. So let's start. As I said, this is the brand new Volvo C40, and for a lot of people this will be a brand new operation on the market because it is a brand new car and it comes to fill in a void that nobody was actually filling. So this car is built on the same platform as the XC40, but the biggest difference between it and the popular mid-size crossover or compact size crossover, depending on the market you're in, is to be noticed around the back. As you can tell, this is a coupe model, a coupe version of the XC40. So it lost the X in the name and it has a more aerodynamic design, if you will. You'll also notice the extra fins over here at the back, the tail lights. We're going to talk about all of that in the full review of the car. But overall, I actually love the way this car looks. It feels incredibly sporty and it looks very, very good. And a lot of people have been turning their heads trying to figure out what it is, because it still is a rather new appearance on the road. And this red color obviously helps it out. The 20-inch wheels also do it a lot of favors, and as you can tell, it's pretty awesome. So let's talk about the specs for a moment before jumping in the car. This car is available in two guises, so it will be available with a front-wheel drive version using a 231 horsepower motor on the front axle alone, or in this version, which is a T8 Recharge, basically using two electric motors, one for each axle, for a total of 408 horsepower. What's different on the C40 compared to the XC40 is the fact that you don't get a internal combustion engine version or a plug-in hybrid. This car is only available with an electric or two electric motors, so it's only available as an electric car. In between the axles you will have two battery sizes depending on the car you choose. So the front wheel drive version will have a 67 kilowatt hour battery, while this car, the T8 with 408 horsepower, has a 75 kilowatt hour battery, and those are the actual usable capacities for those batteries. Range should be over 400 kilometers according to Volvo, but that's something we will figure out for ourselves. Now let's take a look at the inside. Let's hop in the back for a moment. This is what the back seat looks like. So a decent amount of room. Headroom will probably be tricky for people over 6 feet tall. We have a panoramic sunroof. We also have a GoPro. I shot some shots, some short videos with the car already. And this is the front end of the interior. Looks good. And the C40 is the first, you could call it, vegan car from Volvo, because it is not available with leather. So what you see here is a microfiber mix that resembles Alcantara and fake leather on the bottom and on the side bolsters. Let's take a look at the interior. This is the dashboard. It's the new dashboard introduced not too long ago, and this is the infotainment system based on Android Automotive. So it looks very close to the old Volvo system, but it's quite different. And this is the instrument cluster. Let's turn the car on. All you have to do is press on the brake and shift into gear. The car turns on. So right now I have a surprise for you. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I usually do my inner city range tests first, and I shoot the whole thing. But today was kind of busy for me and I had to improvise, so I already drove the car for 73.5 kilometers inside the city, and I already have some range figures for you guys. So let's take a look at what the car is showing. So as you can see, I covered 73.5 kilometers and the average energy consumption is about 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers covered. It took me about nearly 4 hours and the average speed was 21 kilometers per hour. Now, considering the battery has a usable capacity of 75 kilowatt hours, that means you should be able to do about 375 kilometers around town with no issues whatsoever. Now, we should point out that the exterior temperature is ideal for such a range test, 20 degrees Celsius. That was brilliant. And that we are running on eco premium tires, so that also helped out. That said, 375 kilometers with a full charge is not bad. Now, what we're gonna do is hop outside the city limits, drive this car for a while on a set of B roads and then on the highway, and come back with some numbers for each of those sections. So stay tuned. That's what we're gonna do right now, and then I'm gonna do an update with the numbers I got. So we just finished the B-road section of our range test with the Volvo C40 twin motor, and I have some numbers for you guys. Let's take a look. As you can see, we covered 40.9 kilometers with an average energy consumption of 15.8 kilowatt hours and an average speed of 68 kilometers an hour. Now, considering the car has a usable battery of 75 kilowatt hours, at this kind of energy consumption, you could cover over 470 kilometers with a single charge. And that's a pretty good result. It's over the estimates from Volvo, about 440. And I have to mention that I use the AC, but the exterior temperature is absolutely perfect, 21 degrees Celsius, and we are running on premium eco tires. We are running on energy efficient tires, Continental Eco Contact 6. So those factors do play a role in this good result we got. And this is a lot lower than what I got with the XC40, and because that car was tested in winter months, and if I remember correctly, the average energy consumption on that car on the same layout, on the same test loop, was 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers covered. So the cold weather does take its toll. So now what we're gonna do is hop on the highway, keep the car at 120 kilometers an hour, and see what kind of energy results we get. Stay tuned. So we just finished the highway section of our real life range test. Let's take a look at the numbers. As you can see, I covered 57.3 kilometers with an average speed that dropped now since I pulled off the highway, dropped to 113 kilometers an hour, but I kept the car at 120 kilometers an hour because that's the speed limit across Europe on most highways. And the energy consumption was closer to 24 kilowatt hours when I pulled off the highway, not 23 as it shows right now. Doing a bit of math, that means considering the car has a battery that can add up to 75 kilowatt hours of total power stored, you should be able to get about 300 kilometers of range on the highway. So there you have it. Those are the numbers I got. On average, they are considerably better, at least 30% better than the ones recorded by the same car, basically the XC40 during winter time. And I'm gonna leave a spreadsheet in the description of this video where you can find the results I managed to get with a number of electric cars, including the XC40 with the same powertrain but tested during winter time. And there are some important differences. For example, I got 24 kilowatt hours in terms of energy consumption on this car. Now it's summertime, 22 degrees outside, efficient tires, everything. But with the XC40 during winter time, I got 29 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers covered on the highway. So quite a massive difference. That's it. This has been my real life range test with the Volvo C40. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, I'm gonna publish a review of this car in about a week, so subscribe and maybe press the bell icon to be notified whenever it goes live. Until next time, don't forget to feed your passions. Ciao.